Hello everyone, Sidecrafter here, or TRScientist, whoever I go by. It's mostly been Sidecrafter now. And today I am back for another episode of Anime vs. Reality, the podcast I mainly do with this person, Bailey.
Hey
It's going to be
everyone.
a lot less in person now.
Maybe next week I'll try and come.
No, but
Never know.
for Twitch streams it's 8 p.m.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, if we ever decided to do the Root fan game on stream, which probably won't happen. Like, that would be the one that won't happen on Twitch because of how deep we are already in that.
yeah.
Anyway, let's not get distracted from what today's episode is. If you've read the title of the stream, you know what we're talking about. Uh, for clarification of what we mean by which version of Higurashi is better. Both versions, so like the original version is basically like the part one. The new version is part two.
Yeah. Or you could say it's a continuation of the story if you've ever
Yeah,
seen Karate Kid and Cobra Kai.
good example. Uh, but yeah, I feel like it's the we already have an obvious answer for which one's better, right?
Well, for me, I have my answer, but you have your answer. So let's see if they
Well, let's see if
match
we
up.
have the same answer. Because my favorite is the newer version.
Oh, it is.
What's
I,
yours?
I like the I like both, but I do like the older version a bit better.
I will say the hair color of the characters in the new version is a bit off for me, and that did throw me a little bit.
What do you mean by that?
Like during the intro for Go, when we saw the characters, it was like Mion had like a gradient of green rather than like the one green. And
Ah, I
like
see.
Rika had like again the gradient going on. Um, what's his name? Like the main male character.
Was it something from the R?
It
It's
was
been a
like
while.
Takeshi, wasn't it?
It was what?
Wasn't it Takeshi?
What wasn't it Tatsumi?
No, I know it started with a T. I'm quickly going to my phone because I would have it in my phone. I think it was Takeshi though.
Wasn't it? Wait,
Oh,
Satoshi,
it's
wasn't it?
Keshi. It's Keshi.
Keshi, yeah.
Satoshi is the
Brother
brother
of.
of Satoko.
Yeah.
Keshi, that's who it was. I think I'm thinking of what our next anime is.
Oh, okay.
Uh, but yeah, it's like Keshi's like hair design in the opening was like brown to like it had some red in it for some reason. Like my that was like my only problem with the new version, just like the weird opening. And I guess it's just the art style.
You don't like the art style of the new one?
The art style of the new one wasn't that great.
I did like towards the second half of the second season.
Of the new,
Where, yeah, where they did the opening with Rika and Satoko, how it went a bit more darker.
uh, did it really?
No, because like we were talking about before, and you said
I know it was like the
Satsuko.
season one intro.
No, no, I think it was the second one because remember we were talking about how it was after we figure out Satuko's the one doing everything in this new season,
Yeah, yeah.
and they change it and they got this scene in the opening of Rika and Satuko, and it looks like they're gonna kiss, and that
Uh,
like to me,
no,
that
wasn't that
part.
the outro?
No, the outro. Sorry, no, the outro. And for me, that's like because I think Satuko like has this unhealthy obsession with Rika.
Yeah, well,
You
I
always
think
say,
it
"Oh,
is really
loves her as a
like
friend," but
painted.
she does.
Sorry, you say what you say.
So, because I was saying, like, I know that Rika she cares for Satuko, but as a friend, but I think Rika has deeper feelings,
Don't you mean the other
and
way?
that's what.
Rika
No,
was treating Satoko as a friend, but Satoko
yeah,
had
and Satuko wants more.
yeah, you had your wires crossed a bit.
Sorry, yeah. So Satuko wants more, and I think like that love is kind of what drove her insane.
Yeah, that is pretty much the entire point of the new version. Probably one, like, I will say the new version had probably some of the better scenes.
Like what type? Like death scenes?
No, I mean, technically, you can call them death scenes. Like, we had the whole season, like, the whole episode in Go, how the entire scene turns crimson.
Ah, yeah,
But, like, that particular scene is perfectly done well, with it going more and more crimson, and then also, like, we get a reprieve moment where, like, Rika's, like, reflecting on stuff, and it looks normal, and then you get pulled all the way back down into what's really going on with
yeah.
Satoko pulling out Rika's guts.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. How
Yeah,
long did that thing go for? 9, 10 minutes?
that was 14 minutes in total,
14.
including the reprieve.
Yeah, that.
Honestly, one of the wildest scenes in an
Yeah, I
anime.
think the wildest scene was the last episode we covered together. Remember where Satoko is gonna kill her uncle, and then she's like, "I don't want this," and then she splits into two.
Uh, no, that is episode 10. We only got to episode 5 together.
That's why we got the episode 10 together.
No, we only got to 5, and then you got busy with other things.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, can I just go and finish Higurashi by myself? And,
Okay.
and I
Yeah, I
was
remember now.
basically 6 through to the end.
Yeah, that was crazy. How she splits into two, and then
That
you
is
know,
probably like if you needed a good scene across both seasons, you chose two good scenes. You got the Crimson scene and the mental split scene. I'll call it
yeah.
because
All
that's
right, so
literally what it is. And I will say in the notes, I was right to say Evil Satoko the entire time past that point because at the very end of the last episode, Evil Satoko gives Satoko her body back. So I was justified in my wording.
okay, yeah, sure, on a technicality.
Well, literally in the mental split scene, we do see evil Satoko kills good Satoko.
Yeah.
So, as much as you want to say technically, it's very literal in this particular moment.
Yeah.
And, like, from episode 10 to the end, like, we literally see none of Satoko's usual behavior. Like,
Yeah.
it's, like, a lot more serious. And while we're on the topic of Satoko, like, I like the I like the humor of Sadako doesn't like studying, and yet she studies 100 years, or like
Yeah.
the 100 years
The
of Rika's
definition of
life.
irony.
Yeah, like it's sort of like applies to me. Like, uh, I don't like studying. Like, I do like studying, I will admit, but it's only when it's mathematics, or even in the case of this whole podcast being a thing in the first place, just over research of topics that you can discover in anime.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Like, I have researched some weird things for our next anime.
Oh god, see enough hentai to know where this is going.
No, it's not hentai.
Right.
It's Yuri.
Oh Yuri, wait, that's with the guys, isn't it?
That's yaoi.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. Yuri's with the girls.
Yeah.
Oh, phew. Sign me up.
I will say, I have at least two. There's gonna be at least two anime on our list that we've seen that uses nudity in a non-humorous way.
I don't like the sound of that.
No, it's like naked characters but blurred, or
Oh
like
yeah,
I can't say that particular word.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, obscured. And the other anime that I'm thinking of is Madoka Magica. Remember the ending of that?
Madoka. Oh, don't
Yeah,
remind me.
the entire like ending of that has like a main character naked, along with like the girl that's been trying to save her. Man, we're just doing spoilers for everything, aren't we?
You're the one spoiling, not me.
I'm just spoiling everything, aren't I? Well, it's not like I've really spoiled the plot. I've just described a scene that happened in the plot. Not the why or anything like that. But yeah, the other part with like Satoko absolutely studying Rika's life, and then also Satoko taking the ability of like living in loops to its absolute extreme and basically finding out as much as she can for things. Like, she uses like the horse race for the money,
Oh yeah,
and
and then
doesn't even
and then
hold
she
on to the money
uses
herself,
that.
because if she did, obviously it would be suspicious how she got a lot of money out of nowhere.
And then we know what she does with that money.
She just leaves it with her uncle.
No, drinks. Remember, she takes the money and she buys a gun.
No, she leaves most of the money with her uncle though.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. She takes some to buy a weapon.
Yeah, she takes some to buy a gun, and it's the exact same gun that she practiced with from Mion. Ah, give me a moment. I got someone trying to evade a ban. It's a regular thing. Why? Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. That's gonna pretty much happen every time. Uh, what's your favorite part about the original?
For me, it's just that suspense. Like you don't know. All right, is there really a curse, or
Oh,
is
yeah,
there?
I can see that like original being
Because
good
that's
for
like that
like
kind of
that
thing.
initial build.
I kept getting so confused. It's like, what is the curse meant to make them? Meant to punish them by going back through time? I didn't know what the hell was going on.
It's a good thing you had me around to sort of help you as well.
Yeah, otherwise I'll
Like,
be like, I don't know what the hell is going on.
because
What about you?
I
Do you
love
have
like
any?
uh,
Sorry, what?
I I have to agree the fact that it's like an original mystery sort of thing going on, and how it's like, yeah, you don't know what's going on. You get to the end of the like you get to the death of Kechi in the first storyline, and then the next episode comes out, and you're just like, I thought he was dead. Which like starts to clue you in on like what could be going on, and then you go through the second one, and it's sort of like by the time you get to the end of the second one, you piece it together, and then like 3 and 4 are actually the same timeline. Believe it or not.
3 and 4 at the same timeline. What do you mean?
It's so chapters like 3 and 4 of the original are the same timeline. It's just not shown in chronological order.
Oh, okay.
And the part that makes that the same timeline is because of Akasaka, because like he only appears in chapters 3 and 4 of the original. I I
Speaking
would
of the
yeah.
original, what was your favorite death in it?
Oh, favorite death in that. I oh, it's gonna be morbid a bit, but probably the one where Rika's like taking the knife and put it on the wall and it's just gone into her neck,
Oh, yeah, that was
and
a great.
because that one is foreshadowed by like at the start of an episode, I think it was, but it's like foreshadowed in a different timeline.
Yeah, that was a gruesome one.
Yeah, but like when you get the full context of the scene, it's more like you got Rika realizing, well, she's gonna die no matter what because of this what she just got injected with. So she might as well just go out on her own terms and just go with the knife to the throat.
One of the ones I liked was from the original. Where was it? Who? Mion and Shion. Remember, she's doing all these mind games.
Yeah, in the second
And then
timeline.
towards the very end, like when she sneaks out of the room, you see that she slips and she falls.
Oh, off the balcony when she's trying to
Yeah,
get back to the room.
yeah. I'm like, oh, what?
No,
But yeah, but how
so
did she? Because
that
at the end,
particular death, it wasn't that
yeah,
she slipped. It's that I think part of her
something of
outfit
hers
got
got
caught.
caught.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and And I think that does cause her to slip. So she slips, but because she got caught.
Yeah. Yeah, and she showed up at the hospital later, and she kills Keiichi.
Yeah, yeah.
How does that happen?
I that one I cannot explain. It's like a secret fudge when it's just like, wait, what?
Because like we know, like she slipped and fell, and we find out from the detective. He tells Keiichi this. Then
That she
afterwards, she
died.
appears out of nowhere. Yeah,
Yeah, that is a good. I sometimes the anime needs to have that sort of mystery just left hanging because
true. I suppose it'd be a
if
bit
an
more.
anime leaves something hanging, it's just like as you just try to do. How do you explain that?
Yeah.
So I was just distracted by something going on with my sword.
What about
I
in
there is
the
one
new
moment that
one?
I do love
What's that?
from the original. Remember the grandma whipping scene?
The grandma what scene?
Whipping
Oh yeah, she's like
when
you
I think
old
it's
hag.
Shion like
Yeah, well the grandma deserved it.
it's like, why did you die before telling me anything?
Like, oh, I guess she's dead. Oh well.
Um,
'Cause she,
I want to bring up some stuff that wasn't covered actually, though. So with Higurashi, we covered the first ever season. Kai. I mean, Go and Sotsu. But there was two seasons that we did not cover based on canonicity, and that was Rei and Kira. I know you
and
didn't watch it, but I want to bring it up as like I would recommend going to watch these particular small seasons because basically Rei is uh, has Rika end up in a coma. So it's like a whole coma storyline.
alright.
And another ban of Vader appearing on the thing. On. And then Kira is two episode sets of parodies of other like content. So like there's two episodes of Kira that's a parody of Sailor Moon in like magical girl anime. But like in still in the horror setting of Higurashi. But with the use of magic, like with magic being in the picture, it's made even more dark. And then the other two episodes of Kira is about what was it? Uh, a young Rika traveling to the future, meeting older Rika. And it's like the two episode span is just about getting the young Rika back to her point in the timeline. So yeah, they did a time travel, meaning like the duo eps like duo ep Germany. I forget the word.
Yeah, what about the new one? What was your favorite death scene in that?
Oh, it has to go to the Crimson scene.
The what scene?
The Crimson scene.
Oh, okay.
That one
Mine has
is just. It is a masterclass on, like, how to write a death scene that's a long death scene. Like, drawn out. You have that moment of reprieve, and then you get pulled back into it, and it's just like, nah, you're not getting a relax. You get a relax, but nah. What about you?
for me it's gotta be the first death scene with Keiichi and
Oh,
how
yeah.
Rena
And
kills him. Because the whole
Keiji and
time,
Rena,
like
yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, is she crazy? Is she not? What's going on? And it was completely just bending my mind into a pretzel.
And then, like, in Satsu, in the card game, like, in Go, with the card game, do you remember the results of the card game?
Yeah, what's her name kept winning every time.
No, no, the Cluedo game.
No, I don't remember the results.
So, like, Rena tries to guess it correct, and she guesses correct on herself being the killer. Oh no, she like gets one of them correct. I don't know if it was the lounge room or the rope or herself, but those three together basically like spoil the entire storyline for her because Rena fights Keiji in the lounge room, and she also uses rope at some point, like when she like in Satsu when she kills Rina.
I did not notice that.
I did. It's an interesting detail of like here's the story in three pictures basically, like in three cards. It's almost like a way of like of Satoko being like, we're gonna do some trolling. We're going to reveal the plan in the most obscure way possible. Like what's going to happen in the most obscure way possible.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, because like there are some scenes that are memorable, and some scenes I just completely forget.
That's why you have me. I overanalyze this stuff.
Yeah, it's lucky me.
Hmm?
I said lucky me.
Yeah, it's a good thing you do have me because I just go over to over analysis mode on pretty much every scene.
Yeah, that was crazy. When what was her name? Rena. She was stabbing Keiichi, and
Like
Keiichi.
in the chest.
Yeah, and he hits her with that metal. With what
Like
was it? The
that
hammer or
first hit, and
something?
she's just like, it just stops against her head basically, and she's just like,
Yeah, and you think,
she's just looking at him
okay.
like, did you just hit me with a clock? Sort of reaction, but like just deadpan.
Yeah, and you're like,
And it's
and
like,
you
who's gonna
and you.
win first? The clock getting smashed against the
Yeah,
head, or the
I'd be
stabbing in the
dead at that
chest?
point. I'd be dead at that point. The fact that Keiichi was able to keep doing it was just crazy.
Well, he had the adrenaline in that moment.
Yeah.
You always
Well, that
gotta
was like
consider
15,
adrenaline.
16 times she stabbed him.
What?
No, no, she didn't stab him that many times. Like 10 or 12 times.
Yeah. 28 stab wounds.
Oh yeah, Detroit Become Human.
You missed the opportunity, man.
Yeah. Yeah, have you ever seen School Days?
No, I have not.
You should see the stab scene in that.
Oh, oh, isn't that one of the anime on the list that you gave me?
Yeah, there's also a visual novel too.
Oh, we're not going to do the visual novel.
Yeah, we'll play the game. We'll have a day of it.
We are
Be like, we don't
nowhere
like
close to
the.
the end of the Ruby fan game. We gotta finish that first before we can move on to.
Yeah, it's like we don't like the story. We don't like how the anime ended. Well, let's play the visual novel and make
No,
our own
no, we're
ending.
gonna be making a whole thing of playing the visual novel at the same time as doing the anime.
Yeah.
What else is there? Because like we covered like all the big stuff that happens, or and what our opinions are on. So you like the original for the like the original mystery of it?
Yeah.
I honestly like the new version because of the fact that you know the mystery, but there's still a new mystery. It's that layering of mystery. Like you think, oh, everything has to be the same, but then it's like, nah, it's not. And I guess I just like both. Yeah, both see like both versions are really good. What? So wait, your favorite death was the Kechi versus Renner fight?
Yeah, just because it was like, is she crazy? Isn't she crazy? What's going on?
I also Sotsu had another good moment because if you remember at the end of the original Higurashi, we had the whole like the first season of Higurashi, we had the whole rooftop fight scene between Kechi and Renner. It always seems to end up with them fighting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's always like Kechi ends up fighting some like one other member of the games club in some way. Like you got Keiji having to fight off Rena and Mion in the first storyline, and then you got the whole Mion Shion incident in the second timeline. The third timeline has nothing to do with Keiichi at all. And then chapters 5 and 6 of the original were the same as 1 and 2. Like, 2 was 5, but from a different. No, 5 was 2 from a different perspective, and 6 has the rooftop fight scene at the very end of the season.
And
Where.
5 and 2 and 6 make 13.
Really?
Yeah, I was flat adding them up.
But yeah. So in. If. You saw the end of the Satsu, right?
I saw the end of what?
Have you seen the end of the second season, Satsu?
Yeah.
I love the fact that they decided to recreate the Keiji versus Rena rooftop fight, but with Satoko and Satoko and Rika instead. And like with this particular fight, we know that they're gonna be serious about this fight. There's gonna be blood.
Yeah, so that's like was like Satoko's in time you'll know I everything I did for you.
Yeah, and
You did it for
it's also
yourself, what do you
interesting
mean?
how like the character puts it best. They're both fighting to kill each other, but want the other in their timeline.
Yeah.
Especially when they get when they have that sword that kills loopers. That basically just ends up back in what's her name? Hanyu's hands.
Who was Hanu?
The the goddess.
Ah, yeah.
I love how
The horny
it
lady.
just ends up back in Hanyu's hands just because Rika throws it off the bridge, the exact bridge where that little bit of cotton goes down into the riverbed. I told you to pay attention to that because it came back for the sword to get to Hanyu. I, I bet you didn't expect that to happen in the anime at all, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Because like you wouldn't think of like the cotton. You wouldn't think of watching it sucked into the waterbed. It's something you don't think of for ages, but it's a good setup of what's going to happen. But yeah, the rooftop fight was probably it. It was an even better fight than the one at the end of the original season. Because like in a fight, you usually expect some blood to come out, wouldn't you? Like you expect there to be blood.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, in the original version of the fight, there was pretty much no blood. Like no one got even injured really, except maybe Renner's pride.
Your pride cometh before the fall.
But the ending of that particular moment where Satoko just has the force to somehow smash Rika into the wall. Like, just imagine the force you would need to accurately hit someone in the back of the head, stop all their momentum, and turn it into horizontal momentum to smack them into the wall. Like, that is a lot of force in that swing. I'm amazed I didn't do the physics to actually figure out if that was possible. Mainly because like I get technically would Setsuko be stronger because of the time, like all the different loops, like all the time that she's been alive. Interesting question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then like the very end of like Satsu when Rika and Setsuko are saying goodbye to each other,
Yeah.
and they're just like they say the title of the anime, and I think they both look at the camera or something, and they're just like whatever that means. I love it. I gotta appreciate where the anime just calls itself out on its own title for no reason. It's like you didn't need to do this moment. but it's worthwhile when you do it. I feel like a lot of talk has been about Rika and Satoko as characters. I feel like we need to focus on the other characters.
And what characters might they be?
Well, the other members of the Games Club, of course. Like, we
Oh,
got
well,
Keshi, Rena, and Mion.
who would you like to talk about first?
Well, let's start with Keshi. He's the character that we start with. He's the he's the main protagonist for a little while. And just how unlucky he is during in these timelines. Like the first one, he dies to the serum that causes him to claw his neck out. In the second one, he gets killed by like a ghost or something. Like we don't even know. Like somehow
Yeah.
Shion kills him. In the in and then in like Kai, he gets knocked off the bridge, unless that's I forget. Like he gets knocked off the bridge by Satoko. Do you remember
When
that?
was it?
This is like the wish timeline slash the timeline where he kills Teppei, Satoko's uncle.
Ah, yes, yes, I remember.
Was that in the in Kai or the original? I forget. It's when everything starts blending together like that. You know you've watched it all, haven't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, like Keiichi gets knocked off the bridge by Satoko, but he ends up being the only survivor in the entire town, alongside I'm pretty sure Rena survives as well. Because like Keiichi survived by falling in the river at the time of the explosion that happens, and Rena survived because she just wasn't in the area of the explosion. I think it was. No, no, that's right. That has no. At the end of 6, after the fight, Rena was the only survivor. I forgot about that, and because like the first episode of Kai has the ending of that timeline for chapter 6 of the original season. And then, like with the newer seasons, Kenji just kept ending up in the hospital. Like, how many times could one guy end up in the hospital? Because he ends up in the hospital after getting attacked by Rena, which honestly is an upgrade for him. He ends up in the hospital after the whole incident with trying to get out of the bunker. How he stupidly decided to slam his body against the solid
Oh,
steel
yeah.
door.
I honestly didn't think he would.
He
I didn't
probably
think
shouldn't have
he
survived
did
at
it.
all, but he does.
for the time being.
And then there was another one. Like he ends up in the hospital after the third timeline, but I forget exactly what incident happened for that one. Uh, and then, but yeah, it's just scary. She's just like a bad luck magnet, really. Although he does naively follow people into bad situations as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, like when Mion or Shion in the original, it's like I'll only
Come to
tell
the
the truth.
bunker. I want to show you
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I'll only confess everything to you.
It's like, why are you doing that?
So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, no thank you.
And I think there's only one timeline where Kechi is infected, and that's mainly by Satoko in the
Yeah, and
montage.
he has to eat Rika's brains to go back
Yeah,
to normal.
that's the only time he's actually been infect like like attacked with the serum.
Mm,
Well, actually no. In the original, he was injected with the serum, but all that he did there was scratch his neck.
yeah.
He didn't go on a rampage.
Yeah, and then he screamed, and then it ended, right?
I think so, yeah. And then you got Renna, who I for credit given, she doesn't get injected with the serum until again Satoko doing it in the first of the new timelines that she was creating. But even
Yeah,
without that, like Renna was a bit at times, wasn't she?
yeah.
Like again, the fight scene on the roof and her history of smashing windows at the other school. Then you got the research that she ended up doing of the Article 34, which is not Rule 34. It's just Article 34. It's different.
Yeah, so I know the difference, believe me.
But but yeah, the numbers 30 number 34 makes up the word Mio. I'm pretty sure if I remember correct. Using like Umaru, like the language of numbers, which we've seen a few times in anime. Like we saw it with like was it Article 34 or was it like something 34, and we also saw it in that in Measure Record with 168, which was made in Iraha.
Well, I honestly don't remember the Magica Accord 168 thing. What was it?
So I think so they in a moment of like going into Iraha's brain or like memory or something. Um, while inside a I think it was a domain, or if it was named something different in Magic Record. Like, but in that there's a made in 168, and like 168 is Ichi. Like for each number, it's Ichi, Roku, and Hachi. If you take the first syllable of each one, it's iroha.
And that translates to what the numbers are.
So yeah, 168 is Iraha, which was the name of the character.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah, Red didn't have that much. Like, she had her scene where she was talking to Oishi about surviving the explosion at the end of the original Higurashi, which shows that even when Rika dies in a timeline, that timeline still continues on like normal.
Yeah, so it's just timeline after timeline's been created, right?
No, it's more like. Actually, I don't know. It's like all timelines exist, and Rika, when she dies, just gets bumped into another timeline. Obviously, a bit back in time.
Yeah.
And in fact, like Hanyu actually goes into detail of when it of like the when and why this happened, and it was Hanyu's fault in the first place that Rika got trapped in loops, and like Hanyu's damaged horn did not allow Rika to retain memories, and it's not until Hanyu sacrificed like positive memories to heal the horn that Rika was able to remember her deaths and catch Setsuko. Honestly, the I know we talked about the rooftop fight between Setsuko and Rika, but I absolutely loved like the entire scene of like the transitioning between all the different locations in different sort of time period.
Yeah.
Like how like they go from like inside the school and they jump out the window to get to the sword, but then all of a sudden they're rolling down a mountain. Or like you got the two of them running for the sword outside Iris' clinic, and they get to the sword, and then they end up rolling down the staircase of the shrine. And it's clear like Ewa is just messing around with them, because like she would be like the only one that would have this sort of ability. Other than Satoko herself, but Satoko wouldn't really have the thought process to use it.
And why do you say that?
It because Satoko would be so focused on the fight with Rika that she wouldn't think of switching it up in the middle of the
Yeah.
fight.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because like she's at, like at points a little kid, and other points she is high school age, but it's still just like she's very singular focused throughout her entire life. Like she's her only focus is on Rika. So if she's in the middle of a fight with Rika, her focus would be on Rika, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And then like towards the very end, you get like the Dragon Ball Z style fight happen. And it even includes Rika turning gold. Like, her aura turning gold, and it's just like, there's so many Dragon Ball Z parallels you could make here. All you're missing is a Kamehameha.
Love a good Kamehameha. Love a
Uh,
good big bang Kamehameha.
I'm just. Anyway, um, Mion. The only really great thing that she had going for her was the whole twin storyline, honestly.
Yeah, that was pretty good because I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know if I was being messed with or not. It's like, does she have a twin sister? Doesn't she? And I was
And
like,
then at the end you find out, yeah, you're getting messed with.
yeah, I was like, no, she doesn't have one. This is all just messing with us. And oh, wait, no, she does. And I was like, what?
And then once you know, you're still like questioning, wait, who is Kechi talking to?
Yeah,
And I like how they lean into that in the new version as well, of like the confusion Kechi has setting Mion off. But also Mion is still like, I have to protect Kechi from Oishira's curse. It is
yeah,
just the most wild thing to explain, isn't it?
yeah.
I'm trying to think, is there any other characters? Should we go over that montage that we got during the new season? Because
If you want.
we did get some extra killers, technically speaking. Because we had like Akasaka with the gasoline and the fact that he cut her neck open. Talk about putting salt on the wound, right?
Yeah.
Although Akasaka wouldn't have needed to light the gasoline on fire because there is an actual story out there of someone getting maggot in their elbow and using gasoline to get the maggots out.
That's a riddle.
It's an actual story. Just a detail to think about, really. Uh, so yeah, Akasaka didn't really need to light the place on fire. That was just an extra cherry on top, I guess. Then you got, what was the second one? Akane with the katana. Uh, Honestly, I love katanas.
Yeah, well, nothing wrong with a good katana.
Yeah, they they're just really cool to behold, and the fact that Akane is strong enough to just decapitate people with one, chef's kiss for that small moment. Because like in terms of how crazy the characters are, Akane is the most tame, surprisingly.
Are you sure about that?
Well, she's the most calm.
Yeah, true.
Like, and she has one that has the most, like, sound logic. Because it's a similar vein of, like, Mion as well.
Yeah.
Sort of what you get when you got daughter and mother going on a killing spree at different point in different timelines. Sort of get similar thinkings. Uh, which and then we followed it up. I think that's followed up by the swamp. I think with uh, Kimiyoshi tossing Rika into the pond. I think.
Hold on a minute.
Hmm? No. Kechi's one comes first, and then the swamp.
Funny, you gotta take to my friend. You look like you could use it.
Bailey, can you? Are you good?
Oh yeah, sorry about that. That was just my roommate.
If you need to talk to your roommate in,
Oh no, we just did now. He was just telling me something.
okay, but in future, just mute yourself on those, just so I know
Um,
that you're talking to your roommate.
sorry about that.
It's fine. Just bits of heads up. That's all. But yeah, so like Geji with the whole brain buster in the and Angel Mort. Like I would have loved it if Geji got to eat some brain. I know that's gross, but sometimes you need something extreme in your scene. And I know the montage is supposed to be extreme, but I would have loved it if you just top off the ridiculousness of it with Keiji actually eating some brain. And then you got Kimiyoshi with a swamp drowning. Boy, oh boy, that's a moment. Like Rika's just back, like backhanding him with complaints of like how his breath stinks.
Go on.
No, that's like the end of the montage though. It's like Rika getting thrown into the swamp and drowning.
Okay, thought you were going to say some more, but
Because like after that is the whole Crimson scene, which is just
oh, yeah.
probably one of the best
Brutal.
scenes I've seen in all of Higurashi.
I
So
don't know.
I know we can't really say which version you should watch, but again, let's reconfirm what our favorite version is. So,
Well,
what's yours?
well, mine is the my one is the original because of that mystery. Like, what is going on? Is it supernatural, or is there an explanation for it?
And the explanation for it doesn't really come until like really late.
Mhm.
For me, I love I love a good mystery, and both of them have really good mysteries. But I have to say the newer version was my favorite, mainly for Satoko's like almost sadistic nature, or like basically sadistic nature throughout the entire thing. But that would be it for the podcast part of today's stream. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, this is Bailey. He probably won't ever have his camera on because his room's probably a mess. And that was the podcast for today. I hope you guys did enjoy. For YouTube, links will be in the description to Bailey's channel and both of my channels and to Twitch for you guys to go check out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so the next video comes out. A ding, a ding, a ding. A ding.
Dong dong, dong dong.
We'll see you all in the next podcast episode, which will be on Real Story of Devil. We're going to be doing episodes 1 through 4 for that, because that's going to take us a nice solid hour to get through. I hope you guys did enjoy the stream though, and we'll both see you in the next one. Bye.